What is your vision with Converge? Where do you want to go?
A lot of people, when I have been saying, when I inform them, when I tell them that, we have opened Converge, they say, oh, I hope you become the biggest. And I always say, I hope we stay the happiest. Telling yourself, this is a conversation. So, preparing yourself, probably doing a little bit of meditation, breathing exercises before the interview, and going in the interview with the mindset that it's a conversation, not an interview. And it's okay to be scared, but taking going that extra mile, keep moving, I guess would get you there. I guess recruitment industry has been labeled as quite transactional, wherein the team at Converge has always been trying to not to be transactional. We have three key stakeholders: our clients, candidates, and the internal team, ourselves. We have probably 30 or 40 seconds in which a recruiter would decide on the CV if it's worth a call or not. Those 30-40 seconds, if you can grab a recruiter's or a talent acquisition member's attention, is what will decide if you'll get an interview or not. Please tell us, how have you been an amazing employee that you are? Put a lot of numbers there. Make the pointers short, crisp, so that you get our attention. Use the white space. That is very important. Do not put a lot of data. Nobody has time to read paragraphs. You can take a decision, but whether it's right or wrong, time will tell. You just don't know what will be the outcome. Nobody can. But if you believe that if you go back in the time and you will still take the same decision, then it's a right decision, irrespective of the outcome. So that's how I feel about Converge.
Entrepreneurship, corporate, and then entrepreneurship again. How did you get into that formula or this journey? How it started, especially when it comes to recruitment, because I know it's your passion. How did you find it?
Honestly, Ahmed, I just landed into recruitment. It's a little funny story, not inspiring enough, but so I was a corporate relationship banker working with large automotive clients back in my country and wanting to do something of my own. It was just an idea that I want to do something of my own. Obviously, starting a bank was out of the question.
It's totally different.
So, totally different. Heard about this recruitment world, and I guess that corporate job was quite boring for me. I was reaching a point where I felt that I want to do something different. When I landed into the world of recruitment, just heard about this from a friend, and I fell in love with this. It just felt that I have found my passion finally. Something that I really enjoyed doing, something that never felt like work since that very day. So I guess I didn't find recruitment found me.
So what's that thing that you found in recruitment? It's very compelling or very unique. What's that thing? What do you feel?
I guess the biggest thing for me is that we are able to bring difference in people's life. We are able to create a difference. That's the biggest thing for me, both in terms of our clients and candidates alike. When we place somebody, when we land them their dream job, and when the company finds their dream candidate, the win-win situation, it's I guess that's the sole purpose of doing everything that I've been doing for the last 19 years. Oh, I sound old.
That's amazing. And the idea itself of going back to corporate, right? Spending long time, coming back here to Dubai, right?
Yeah.
And staying for long in the same domain, which is recruitment.
Yeah.
And then something happened and you take a leap of faith again, just to move again into recruitment and open your company, recruiting also your team at Converge. How did this idea came into your mind, and how did you take this decision out of corporate and move totally to the entrepreneurship?
I guess entrepreneurship runs in my blood. I have always been with that ownership mindset, even when I have been working in the corporate world, it always felt like it's my own thing. It never felt like job 9 to 6 for me. People who know me, they would see my emails, messages flying at 3 a.m. and at night as well, because that's how passionate I am about recruitment. So coming back to the entrepreneur, I guess it was in the blood, and the time just felt right. It just felt that this is the right time that I take that leap of faith, and I totally believe in destiny, that, things happen for a reason. So I guess the people that I was surrounded with, they made the decision very easy. The team that we have at Converge, and then basically Converge also means when people come together, merge together with the same purpose. So I guess when we found this like-minded people, the decision became very easy. It felt natural. It felt like, why not yesterday? Why today? So yeah.
That's amazing. The question now is, what triggers you, to take that decision? Because when you're inside the corporate, it's very amazing comfort zone. You have a great income. You're helping moving the wheel, but just moving into entrepreneurship one time, it takes like a lot of courage, right? My question to you right now is, did you plan this ahead, or how it came to take that such decision again to come in entrepreneurship and open a great company like Converge? How did you reach to that decision?
You're absolutely spot on, Ahmed. I guess a lot of people we talk about so many addictions, but nobody talk about this addiction of corporate life. The monthly cycle, the salary coming into your bank account, you feel safe, you feel in your comfort zone. And as a recruiter, when I talk to my candidates, I always tell them that you have to move out of your comfort zone, you have to do this, you have to take that leap of faith. So I guess it just felt right that this is the right moment for me. In terms of, yes, moving into the entrepreneur world, it was not easy. No, to answer your question, it wasn't a planned decision at all. And I guess I'm not a big planner in life. I go with the flow always. I like to travel, to just plan things and go with it. And honestly, wherever I have planned, things haven't moved as per my plan. So I believe there is some power above me who directs. So it just happened. And I guess the main reason behind Converge is the wonderful team that we have at Converge, and everybody came together with the same purpose, we all are quite like-minded people. So that gave me the confidence that, yes, we can do it. Whatever might happen, nobody knows the future. I always say a decision, you can take a decision, but whether it's right or wrong, time will tell. You just don't know what would be the outcome. Nobody can. But if you believe that if you go back in the time and you will still take the same decision, then it's a right decision, irrespective of the outcome. So that's how I feel about Converge. And inshallah, God has been really kind. We have been doing really well, and I guess what inspires me every day is seeing the smile on my team's face. I guess that just keeps me going.
That's amazing. So what is your vision with Converge? Where do you want to go?
Honestly, I do not have an answer to that. Where do we want to go? A lot of people, when I inform them, when I tell them that, we have opened Converge, they say, I hope you become the biggest. And I always say, I hope we stay the happiest. So I guess the sole vision with Converge would be, we stay around our purpose. Some industries are very transactional, and I guess recruitment industry has been labeled as quite transactional, wherein the team at Converge has always been trying to not to be transactional. We have 3 key stakeholders: our clients, candidates, and the internal team, ourselves. So I guess if we stay true to them, if we do the best, if we are not transactional, if we treat people the way we want to be treated, I guess we would have achieved our vision.
Great. So I'll come back a little bit about your personal story itself. So I'll speak a little bit more into entrepreneurship, okay? When you take a decision to get out of the corporate, what's that formula that you had in your back end just to move out of corporate and move into entrepreneurship in terms of, I would say, financial security? Because, you know, when you move from corporate and move totally into entrepreneurship, it required like a lot of time, a lot of things. How did you plan this? Because such movement, it's a scary one. How did you plan, especially financially, to be covered, the ups and downs? How did you get into that formula?
It's a very good question. I guess, yes, there was a little bit of planning in terms of financial aspect, but more so the confidence that our clients have been showing, our candidates have been showing, the encouraging words, you know, that we are with you, meant a lot. The like-minded people that we have in Converge, who are ready to do whatever it takes, then I guess all the other challenges feel like we can do it. Everything would be managed. So yes, there was planning around financials, how everything would be managed, but more so on the belief that we can do it. We will make it happen together. I guess that drove. That was the main driver behind this.
That's great. So if I ask you. I don't want to have like numbers, but I would say that in such decision moving out, how much you should like cover from your personal expenses to take such leap of, if you have something on the back end, if it sometimes also we're human, right?
Yeah.
You have, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work, and we adaptable. But I believe that there is some security on the back end you should be covered with. From your experience, just because it's really when I see people, they moved out from corporate and move into entrepreneurship. I need to understand your formula. What is that like income? How much should I be covered from my total expenses when I take such movement based on your experience?
Honestly, there is no formula to it, but I would say if you can sustain for a year, and ensuring that you are safe, I think you're good to go. 1 year is a long enough period to be able to make a change and to drive things.
Like 1 year from your expenses, saving in your bank account, right?
1 year that you are safe and secure and you can manage everything, then I guess it's good enough for any startup, any business to be able to manage it.
That's amazing. And also on the back end, so while taking such a movement, what's that security in terms of, you know, customer acquisition? Because you should have also a proof of concept, because once you moved out, you shouldn't start from just the beginning. How did you build that in the back end of your mind, especially when it comes to relationship management with customers and clients? How did you nourish this before moving this into that?
I guess, Ahmed, what gave me confidence was I always think of the worst situation. So when I started my entrepreneurship journey back, I guess around 15 years ago, it was, I didn't know anything about recruitment. Trust me, I didn't even know what job portals are, but I just, I started with a consultancy and everything panned out for good. And now I was starting from experience, and honestly, I believe what you give to the world that comes back. I truly believe in the law of karma, and I've always been very genuine, honest with my clients, candidates alike. So relationships have been really strong in the market. People have seen how our team functions. People have seen those relationships, I would say, have been in these relationships have been with me for more than a decade, wherein, you know, there has been an honesty, transparency from both the sides. So I guess the confidence they showed in me more than me doing that made my decision really easy, to be honest. And I couldn't be more grateful to all my clients and candidates alike.
That's amazing. When you speak about clients, okay, because recruitment, I think there are two sides, right? Candidates and your clients or the companies.
Yes.
If I ask Megha, what is more valuable in terms of relationship? Is it the relationship with candidates, or I would say the weight of the relationship with companies? How do you weight it?
I honestly cannot weight it. I guess I've always been living with one mantra: treat people the way you want to be treated, So if you treat both your candidates and clients alike, I guess there is no looking back from there. Your clients can be your candidates can be your clients tomorrow. So just be a decent human being, answer that call, the candidate that you have sent for an interview, just show the bare minimum decency of giving them feedback, and there is no looking back. Trust me, since the time I've started my journey, some of my key candidates have come back saying, Megha, you were the only recruiter who answered our call when there was nobody ready to speak to us. You were the one who always responded to our WhatsApp. We want to work with you. They have gone that extra mile for me. So I guess treat everybody equally. Treat human beings as human beings, and you will have success wherever you go.
How do you nourish relationships with your clients, definitely, and also the candidates? How do you use that formula to nourish this relationship?
I just be myself. This is me, as genuine, as honest as I could be. So I guess the relationships, there is no formula. There is and if the relationships are based on formula, I don't think so they will survive. They have to be really genuine, coming from the bottom of your heart. When you feel that connection with the other person, then that relationship goes to another level. So I guess the entire foundation of any business, of any relationship, is being genuine. Even if you're asking somebody, how are you, be genuinely interested in asking them, how are you? And yeah, so that's what has gotten me here.
That's incredible. Let's move a little bit about the executive search. What is the biggest obstacle that you see from a candidate perspective when it comes to finding a great job? A lot of candidates, I see it, just to give you my experience, when it comes to find like executive role or something like that, a lot of people think that when I apply too much on, let's say on LinkedIn, I will land my dream role. And unfortunately, we have a lot of great stories. People, they send like thousands, applied thousands of times on LinkedIn, and unfortunately they don't receive anything. I see one of these obstacles, it's there. But I see also another candidates, they get not internally just selected, maybe externally, they get that job. What is the difference between these two approaches? However, when you just look at those people that they applied online, maybe they have great experience and great values and great also leadership than those people that they got these jobs.
Yeah.
So what's your advice that you can give it to those people from a C-level perspective or just executive perspective to find their dream role? How from your perspective as well, to land this?
I guess when it comes to executive level, you have to be really well aware of what you are targeting. As an executive, you cannot be applying on all the jobs that comes up. The major challenge that we face nowadays, when we post a job, in a couple of minutes we have 1,000+ applications. Sometimes people, they just want to apply, they just want to be noticed by a recruiter, making it difficult for the genuine worthy ones to be noticed by the recruiter. So I guess at that level you have to be really focused on, you have to see if the company's culture is the right fit for you, is is the culture where you can thrive in? Is the vision aligned with you? Is that the purpose of the company aligns with your purpose? And I guess if these are matching, then you're good to go. So make a target list of the companies that you want to get into. What kind of role? Be clear. Do a little bit of introspection. What is that I want next in my career? Is it just because I'm bored, I want to change? Or is that something I'm looking for? Once that is clear, I guess it becomes very easy to land that job. And then the universe comes together to get you that.
Yeah. I think that I asked you this question on a personal level, but you just said something. The moment that you post like a position on LinkedIn through Converge,
yeah.
I want to ask you that question because also our audiences should understand this. How many inbound messages you are getting from LinkedIn per day in that way? Just be point.
That's a lot of number. I guess around 100 plus that I would be getting in a day. On LinkedIn, it's always inundated. I try my level best to reply to each one of them. But I'll be honest, it's humanly quite impossible to reply to all of them. However, anybody who sends me an email would always get a response. Anybody who sends me a WhatsApp, they will get a reply within 24 hours. So that's the commitment that I have with my...
That's amazing. I want to ask you that question also. When it comes that you have like tons of messages, inbound messages on LinkedIn approaching you, because I'm a human, but I don't have that connection with you. Maybe I'm second or third connection on LinkedIn. Throughout the 100 messages, how can I stand out and I bring your attention? Because we're human, right?
Yes, absolutely.
When it comes to selection and seeing what's that thing that I can do on LinkedIn that I can bring your attention while sending you this inbound message.
I guess if you go through the job description, because as a recruiter, we invest a lot of time in putting the right job description for you, for the candidates, so that we give the right picture of what we are looking at or what our clients are looking at. If you can pick up the key points from there and can ensure that you highlight those in your profile, that would actually make you stand out. I still remember in my early days, I used to be really passionate about healthy eating, nutrition, etc. And I was a corporate banker, but didn't have any degree in nutrition something. There was an application by one of those health coaches. There was a job by one of the health coaches wherein he was asking for people to join. With no experience, I gave him a couple of pointers that this is what I've been doing, this is how, and I actually got an interview. Never landed the job, but got the interview at least. So I guess when you do that, when you are clear why you want to apply for the job, how does it falls in your career progression, how you see your career, I guess you will stand out, because we are looking for you. We also want the right candidate for our client. So I guess if it's a win-win, then yes.
Okay. If I go into the thought process, okay, during like the 100 messages that you receive them, if you go one by one, okay, what are those people that will bring your attention? Is it their profile? Is it their messaging? Is it their personalized message that will bring curiosity? I need to dig deep a little bit, because really we need to add like values for people that they're just listening.
Absolutely. So I guess when I go through those messages, I usually click on their profile. So, if the profile is very well written, that brings a huge difference. A lot of them attach their CVs, which helps us. And in CVs, definitely a well-drafted CV, which has, because there are stats behind it that we have probably 30 or 40 seconds in which a recruiter would decide on the CV if it's worth a call or not. Those 30-40 seconds, if you can grab a recruiter's or a talent acquisition member's attention, is what will decide if you'll get an interview or not. And some of those drivers are, I always recommend my candidates to make the CV as crisp as possible. Do not run into pages. Make it 2 pages, max 3 pages. Highlight your achievements. Put a lot of numbers. For example, it's very easy for me to say, I'm an amazing recruiter. This is one. Now, the second line is, Ahmed, I recruited 349 positions last year. Out of them, whatever positions were assigned to me, 93% were successful. Do you see a difference? That's all. So that's what we want to see in the CV. Please tell us, how have you been an amazing employee that you are? Put a lot of numbers there. Make the pointers short, crisp, so that you get our attention. Use the white space. That is very important. Do not put a lot of data. Nobody has time to read paragraphs. Make it enticing enough for a recruiter or a talent acquisition team member that they want to speak to you. So I guess, that's my 2 cents.
It's very interesting, 30-40 seconds to judge, right? Whether just to continue, it will be worth, because it's 100 messages. Let's be very, very honest. You will not be able to answer 100 messages, right?
Mind that that's daily.
That's why. So most people, what they do, they just send the message. I see also from that experience, and they don't understand what is in it for you before this. They just think about themselves firstly. So by understanding also the job description, your profile, because I see also a lot of people, what they do when it comes even approaching executive search or recruiters, they don't know that also in terms of recruitment and executive search, there are some domains. Let's say that some executive search is specialized in real estate. Absolutely. And I go and just pitch about something in supply chain or sales, which is totally different.
True.
So the thing now, how can they align these thoughts, or just in terms of targeting, to connect with the right recruiters? What do you think in terms of LinkedIn?
I guess going through their profile, seeing what kind of roles they have been posting, seeing what kind of thought leadership they are talking about. Most 99% of the times when we post a job description, we do mention the industry. So, just investing that 30-40 seconds in reading the job description and seeing that, can I add value? Would I be a plug and play to this job, or I would have to learn the ropes? I do understand, people should get a chance if they want to explore something. And then there are a lot of opportunities, career opportunities, wherein companies are ready to get that fresh mind. So you have to understand, you have to read between the lines and then go for it. I guess that would be the right approach.
When it comes to candidates, they got approached by a great recruiter or just an executive search, and they offer them an opportunity to start first interview with a great company, second interview, they passed the third interview, a last interview, they passed it, and then after time, they got ghosted, whether from recruiters or from the company itself. What is that take that you can give from a recruitment perspective and also from a company perspective? Because at the end of the day, the candidate itself, or just himself or herself, they got a depression or just desperate about that thing. How can we fix this in terms of the recruitment process? And what's your advice on that?
Absolutely. Fantastic question, Ahmed. This has been a pain point of recruitment industry for some time. And I guess that's what is the USP of Converge. We do not believe in transactional relationship. There has been one mantra around Converge: treat people the way you want to be treated. So you are talking about third or fourth interview. Even if our team or even myself, if we are calling a candidate, it's just a telephonic interview, they deserve to get a response from the recruiter. If they're shortlisted, if they're rejected, if we can give them reasons, amazing. If we cannot, because sometimes we also do not have the reasons, clients just give us the shortlisting. Obviously we try to get the details, but sometimes it's challenging. However, we always try to go back to that candidate who has invested his 20 minutes, 30 minutes, probably an hour in going and meeting the client or taking an online interview. They deserve a response. So I guess it is totally on the recruiter, and this is what we are trying to bring a difference in the industry. All our candidates, at least an email, a WhatsApp. How much time does it take if a candidate reaches out to you? Do you have any feedback? No, nothing yet. Yes, I have feedback. You have not been shortlisted. These are the reasons. 1 to 30 seconds. But just imagine the relationship that I have built with that candidate. So I guess to answer your question, no, this is totally on the recruitment industry, and this is the bare minimum a recruiter worth its salt can do to give respect to the candidate who has invested time in taking his or her call, responding, sharing his details. So 110%. Candidate
on
deserves
the recruitment side, right?
100%.
What if, because the recruiter is the face with the candidate and also the face with the company or the client itself. What if the company, for some reason, they ghosted and they don't give any feedback? What's the best way for recruiter at that stage to come back to the client? Because client also deserve like feedback.
You mean candidate?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say like the company, they ghosted the recruiter, and
the candidate
as well is nagging, wants to get a feedback. What's the best way that you can come back to the candidate?
See, usually most of our clients do respond because we have that strong relationship with them wherein they would give us feedback. But yes, sometimes even for clients, some vacancies can go on hold. Sometimes they realign their strategy and they might not have a response. I guess just be genuine. It's as simple as that. Going back to the candidate and informing them that we don't have a feedback because of this reason, that helps. Yes, the candidate might come back to you after 15 days, 1 month, again asking you the same question. Again respond the same answer. If you don't have feedback, we don't have feedback. We have been trying to get it from the client. Just respond to them. They would understand because it's nothing complicated. They also have been recruiting, in their corporate job. There might have been a time where they were recruiting, they didn't have a response for their candidates. Everybody just understand. If we go back to them, respond to them, honestly, it's as simple as that.
I can relate to that because most, I would say, of executive search, when it comes to that place, what they do, if they don't get feedback from the company, and they see just the candidate is nagging, they ghosted away also. They look at it because they don't have a feedback. And I believe that if we dig deep psychologically, they are just under a hope, maybe. Why?
Exactly.
Maybe that the company will come back or not.
Absolutely.
And what's happening here is the gap comes from the candidate and the recruiter itself. So client got depressed, got desperate, and it feels like agony for them. And when it comes, especially when the candidates start to follow up, maybe on WhatsApp, maybe on LinkedIn, and they saw that the recruiter is seeing the message and don't respond back. So I see from that perspective, it's all about the recruiters.
Yes.
And I like what you say, that you have to be open. If you don't have a feedback, but don't leave the door just like that and let people get like depressed. Absolutely. And they feel that they're hopeless because they spend too much time with you.
Absolutely.
And just got ghosted.
Absolutely. Just put yourself in that candidate's shoes. He invested time, you build a hope, and now you have just disappeared. How much time does it take to just say that we don't have feedback? Honestly, Ahmed, the LinkedIn messages probably might not be, I wouldn't be able to do justice to them, but anybody sending me a WhatsApp, I can vouch for that. They would have received a response from me. Anybody who has sent me an email would have would have gotten a response from me. Because I just want to treat people the way I would want to be treated. And it might not be a detailed one. It might be as short as I haven't heard back from them yet. But at least they will get, they deserve this much of respect.
That's amazing. The question now, based on your experience in the recruitment industry, what should be the time frame that you should give a feedback to the candidate, whether there is another step or not?
Ideally, I think it should be 4 to 5 working days, but sometimes it gets stretched to 2 weeks as well, depending on the hiring manager's availability. Sometimes they are also traveling. But if it's 4 to 5 working days, I guess that's good enough. And then the vice versa. Sometimes we go back to the candidates within 24 hours, less than 24 hours. So, it depends on the hiring manager's availability. However, 4 to 5 working days seems like a decent amount of time.
Great. If I ask you, I want to approach Megha, right? Now, the first touch point will be on LinkedIn, right? And you said that WhatsApp or email. Most probably, most recruiters and executive search on LinkedIn, they don't share such contact information. They don't just have their LinkedIn, because if you put your, I would say, WhatsApp number or your email, you'll be bombarded with another, messages and into that way. How can I reach to you and get that connection, or just your email or WhatsApp? What is the process if I go into the recruitment side? I don't know you, maybe you don't know me, but how can I move into that and get into asking you for your contact information? You can reply back. Can you take me step by step?
You're putting me in a difficult spot.
We need to be open for our audiences, based on your experience.
Absolutely. See, to be honest, my email ID is very well there on LinkedIn, but my mobile number is definitely not. If somebody wants to reach out to me, I guess they have to find a mutual reason wherein we both can add value to each other. For example, if somebody reaches out to me for some industry where I have no clue and I have never been recruited, and I feel I cannot add any value, I guess it would be their waste of time in trying to reach out to me. So if they feel that I can add a value and they write to me, I guess they will definitely get a response. The best way to connect generally with the recruiters, I guess, or to be seen in the market, nowadays LinkedIn has given us an amazing platform. I guess if you are vocal there, if you are connecting with like-minded people, commenting on their post, for example, and then there you can help Ahmed, the wonderful audience, to reach out to the larger segment. Speaking out your mind, getting noticed. It's a free platform where you can express your thoughts, and people can connect with like-minded people. I guess that would be an amazing platform. But finding the reason why somebody would want to connect with you, I guess that's the key to it. Yeah.
When it comes to recruitment, I like always just take that experience. I see two different personas: recruitment inside recruitment agency and recruitment inside a company, right? What is the difference between these two personas? When I am as a candidate, I approach them on LinkedIn. For instance, I see maybe it's a limiting belief. Most of the candidates on LinkedIn, they perceive, let's say, HR, not just talent acquisition or in a recruitment space. They approach HR quickly on LinkedIn and they ask for a job.
Yeah.
Okay. Hoping that there is something there. While if it's like recruiter inside the recruitment agency, it's totally different approach. What would be, from your experience, because you know that side and you know that side, what would be the difference in these two personas if I am, as a candidate, approach them so I can bring their attentions? What is in it for both of them so I can approach them and get there?
I guess when you reach out to an HR or a talent acquisition team member from a company, you can be quite specific how you can add value to that company. You know, I have seen so many of my candidates going in for the interview very well prepared. They go for a market visit, they see how their products are available in the market, they find the key pointers, and if you showcase it to the TA team member, or you mention something specific, I guess it's easier to get attention, because you know the person is recruiting for this company, this is the portfolio looks like. But when it comes to recruiter, it can be a little bit of generic. You don't know which company, who are their clients. Obviously the recruiter would be posting a couple of jobs, so you can make out from that. So when people reach out to recruiters, it's more of a generic message. You know, we have people reaching out to us from banking industry, CPG, financial services, all across. So I guess observing the recruiter, what kind of positions the person has been recruiting, their connections, or probably just asking them a simple question that, do you recruit in my field? I guess that would really help.
So what is that one thing that you're very proud of when it comes to your company, Converge?
I guess the thing that I'm really proud of is the people that have come together for Converge. We all come with this, we all are like-minded, we all have come with the same purpose of bringing a difference to the industry. And the team that is ready to go that extra mile, who don't think of this job as a job, they really want to bring a difference, they really want to do something. I guess for each one of us, it feels like we own this space. It's not a job that we are doing. And
how did you select them?
I guess, you know, it's like that magnet theory. People attract like-minded people, and the people that I found on my journey were all coming with the same vision. Not coming with that corporate mindset that we have to do this thing 9 to 6. We all really want to bring in a lot of difference. When it's a startup, you know, there are so many things that needs to be done. And when I see everybody taking that initiative, everybody going that extra mile without anybody asking them, you know, somebody is taking care of digital, somebody is taking care of, I don't know, operation on their own.
How did you align this? What's that thing that makes you attracting these people and get them into the same vision, or just creating like this great sense of belonging?
I guess you answered the question yourself. When people feel that they belong, that they are treated with respect, when they feel that they can do what they want to, because I genuinely believe there is no single way of doing things right. So, you know, when you respect their preferences, when you let them do the way they want to drive, if you genuinely believe in them, then you will see those magical results coming along. So in Converge, we truly believe that there is no one way of doing things. We all experiment. We all have our own individuality. We all do the things that we want to, and I guess that has been the success mantra. Each one of the team members that are in Converge, they feel they own the company. They feel that it's theirs. It's nobody is telling them what needs to be done. They have to figure it out. Obviously, we are there as a team to guide, to be there when you need something. But when you have that ownership towards it, then it doesn't feel like a job. And I guess that's all what it makes the huge difference to Converge.
When it comes to an interview, I see great people, they have great experience, great wealth of knowledge, but when they go inside the interview, they don't hear back. What is that things that I can ensure inside an interview so it gives me like high probability of getting my dream role from this company?
That's a very, very useful question, Ahmed. Thank you so much for asking. I guess it's more than in the interview, it's before the interview what you do. It's all about preparation. So there are stats behind that. If a candidate prepares, if they spend around 2 hours preparing for the interview, they have 70% higher probability of getting shortlisted in an interview. That preparation should be a joint effort by their recruiter and the candidate, reading about the company, about the role, checking. Nowadays we have a beautiful platform, LinkedIn, everything is up there. Checking who are the hiring managers for this role, what kind of people does this company hire, what do they look at, what are their values, what is in it in this job that would make a difference. And if you prepare an elevated speech, trust me, in an interview, even if the interview is for 45 minutes, a hiring manager would have made up his mind in the first 10 minutes. There are chances you can change that decision, but 70%, 75% of the time, the first 10 minutes actually make a difference. If you prepare an elevated speech, what you can bring in to the company, I guess you have nailed it. And to do that, there has to be a lot of preparation before the interview, checking everything about the company, the role, immersing yourself in that.
That's an amazing answer, which is open another question. I like what you've said, because from candidate perspective, they can hold everything on their shoulder. But you mentioned such a great thing. It's also the recruiter, because again, it's like a partnership, right? If I want you to get that job, I will be able to help you get into that. Because sometimes also we are, as a candidate, we are just, I wouldn't say ignorant, but we don't know what to do inside the interview, how to sell ourselves and our experience. Some of these small things, you mentioned it as a recruiter. What's your advice to for all the recruiters? Because at the end of the day, it's partnership. If I land this to the opportunity, I would get my retainers or my contingency. What is that thing that you can give an advice to recruiters to help the candidates to get into that preparation for the interview?
And more so from the fee, from just the retainer contingent fees, it's more you feel that sense of achievement when your candidate, when the client comes back and tell you, oh yes, the great candidate. So it's a recruiter's basic responsibility to prepare the interviewer, the candidate, for that interview specifically. At Converge, we ensure that our candidates are very well prepared for the interview, ensuring that they have enough content to prepare for the interview, right from the interviewing styles, what does the company look like, what kind of people have they been hiring, what is the culture, what is that USP of that job, why is the job open in the market, what are they actually looking at. It can be as simple profile as finance manager, but every job has a USP. So if your candidate doesn't know the right questions to ask a recruiter, I guess it's a recruiter's responsibility to ensure that he or she has all the right answers. So by having a call with them, ensuring that they are well informed about everything, that is your success mantra.
I love this partnership mindset. Yeah, that's amazing. Maybe another question that I will ask you about that. What could be that, like I would say like 4 or 5 points you, from a recruitment perspective, you can give an advice to a candidate to prepare before just having the first interview in the company itself? What are those things that they have magnification, look at it?
I guess read about the company. Definitely try and find out who the hiring manager is, what is their profile like. If you can somehow try and understand the culture of the company by looking into what kind of people do they hire. Read the job description carefully, and if it's if it's a sales role, if it's a trade marketing role, please visit. Their products are available in the market. If you can just go see how they're positioning themselves, how you can add value in that company and in that role. If you keep these key pointers in mind, I guess there is no way that you would not land the dream job that you have been looking for.
That's amazing. That's amazing. What are those traits when it comes to a person inside an interview to show it and get this dream job?
So we spoke about preparation, Ahmed. I guess now inside the interview, you are well equipped to handle it. You just have to be authentic, be yourself, because people connect with people. They don't want to see an AI responding all the right answers. They want to see somebody who comes with the passion, who says what the person actually feels. So the body language, the authenticity, the genuineness, being yourself, I guess that's what will land you your dream job. I have had so many feedback coming from my hiring manager saying that, we love that person. The person didn't know this and went that extra mile saying that I don't know this. However, I'll find out and get back to you. Just sending an email about that just showcase, yes, who is to say that I'm supposed to know everything?
Yeah.
So I guess be authentic and be yourself.
I'll ask you something inside that, because authenticity, to reach that state of mind, it's very hard, especially when you go for an interview and you know that it's one of the steps to get into your dream role that will change your life and maybe change also your family life. Some of the things that will come into your mind, fears, right? And I keep saying that fears could kill authenticity, because fear will always push you to be perfect in that way. How can we get over or just overcome our fears and be very authentic inside the interview?
So I guess this takes me to my childhood, when I used to be really passionate about army, and I was lucky enough to meet somebody who was in army at a very high rank position, and I asked him, don't you get scared? Don't you feel, how will you do it? He said, yes, I do, but I still keep on moving. And that has stayed with me. Do I not get scared? No, I might be scared at each and every step, but you still keep on moving. So I guess to answer your question, the candidates, yes, it is scary. Probably some of them do not have a job. They have bills to pay. We do understand. We do empathize with them. They have school fees to pay. They have to put food on their on their table. You just have to train your mind, or probably sit with Ahmed, who brings the authenticity in you, on a Mercedes note, telling yourself that this is a conversation. So, preparing yourself, probably doing a little bit of meditation, breathing exercises before the interview, and going in the interview with the mindset that it's a conversation, not an interview. And it's okay to be scared, but taking going that extra mile, keep moving, I guess, would get you there.
Megha, it's a pleasure having you here today, and I keep saying that I wish you all the best in your new adventure, and I'm sure with your vision, with your energy and building great talent and team and this sense of belonging, you will take Converge to places where magic happens. Thank you so much for coming here today, and thank you for unleashing everything for us.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. You have a way to ensure people unleash themselves. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
I appreciate it. Unleash is the bridge between my purpose and my mission. And my mission is unleashing the human greatness to its utmost potential.